Welcome back, Warriors!
And Happy New Year!
I'm Addie.
And I'm Avery.
And welcome to this week's episode of Warrior Weekly.
The Maine West Drama Department hosted a field trip to Illinois High School Theater Festival on January 12th, 13th, and 14th. Students got the opportunity to watch performances from schools throughout the state and attend both acting and tech workshops.
On January 18th, the National Honor Society held their annual induction ceremony. This event honors juniors and seniors who were deemed to have exceptional grades, good character, and a commitment to service. At the event, students who were elected for leadership positions, such as president and secretary, were also announced.
And now to Nikhil with this week's sports update.
What's up, Warriors? It's Nikhil with your sports update. The Maine West girls basketball team played against Mother McAuley on January 14th. They lost by a score of 52-33. The Maine West varsity cheer team placed second at the CSL Cheer Championship in the co-ed division. Congratulations to these talented athletes. The Maine West wrestling team beat Maine East by an incredibly close score of 34-33 points. Great job, Warriors. This Friday, the boys swim and dive team has a meet against Maine East, and the boys basketball team has a meet against Vernon Hills. Good luck to both teams. And now to a check-in with Maine West girls gymnastics team.
Hey Warriors! Today we're checking in with girls gymnastics about what the best and the hardest thing is about being on the gymnastics team.
I would say the best part about being on the team is just like at meets and stuff when somebody has a really good routine or you have a really good routine, and just celebrating that accomplishment together is just really fun, and so it's such a great feeling to have a new skill.
Like the bond we have with each other, we really encourage each other at meets, and when we're feeling sad, we really lift each other up. That's probably the best part. It makes it fun.
Probably the amount of support you get from everyone. There's never a time where like someone's not cheering you on. Like even in practice, people cheer you on, and it's just like very positive here.
The hardest part would definitely be like ourselves. Like we're really hard on ourselves when we don't get a certain skill. It kind of like takes over us.
Probably the mental blocks you get. So if you haven't gotten a skill and like you've been working on it for a long time, like that can be really hard.
That's it for girls gymnastics. This is Katie with WMTH Sports.
Many students at Maine West use art to share who they are. Here to tell you about how one student uses his art to express his identity is Ash Carmichael.
Maine West has many different art classes and art students that all hope to share a different message through their art. This is how one student, Alex Dussault O'Connor, tells his very personal story about his identity and self-image through his art.
I express my identity through art because I consider myself a very creative person, and I find that also as a queer and trans person, art is just the best way I can get out these unconventional feelings and feelings that aren't widely represented in the things I see. Most of my art is based on my own experiences and self-realizations, and the only person who can really accurately depict that is me. And so that's why I make my art about who I am. The way I tell my story through art is by picking ideas that really reflect like abstract concepts about myself that are hard to express, and because they're abstract, it's actually easier to get those feelings out onto like paper or whatever. I choose issues that are really deeply emotionally like important to me, and usually a lot of my art is surreal because I think our experiences in the world are not easy to understand. So I love surrealism because of that. With my art, I really hope to achieve just an impact. I intend to pursue it professionally because when I was growing up as like a little queer and trans and mentally ill kid, I just felt like I didn't see media that just represented exactly how I felt. And I know that maybe what I create won't give that to someone, but it'll give them something. I think it'll help kids navigate these weird feelings that they're feeling that maybe school doesn't tell them about, their parents don't tell them about. In short, I just want to create more representation that I wish I had had as a kid.
This has been Ash Carmichael with WMTH News.
And now to this week's episode of West Reviews, where we review the latest movies, TV shows, video games, music, and everything in between.
Welcome to this week's episode of West Reviews, the show where we review the latest films, shows, albums, and more. I'm your host, Emma McGreevy. Today, I'll be reviewing the second installment of the Knives Out franchise, Glass Onion. This film is a brand new whodunit murder mystery from the director, producer, and screenwriter Rian Johnson. Similarly to the first installment, Glass Onion is chock full of twists and turns, witty humor, the thick, southern charm of Detective Benoit Blanc, and a star-studded cast of actors such as Daniel Craig, Kate Hudson, Madeline Klein, and Dave Bautista. The story follows a group of socialites that were invited to a private island of Miles Braun, a hippie billionaire living in Greece. Once on the island, the guests and friends of Braun, alongside Detective Blanc, are prompted to play a live game of Clue and solve the mystery of Braun's, quote, death. As the movie progresses, the game gets a little too real, the guests are forced to face their mistakes and solve a real murder before the sun rises. This movie was one of my most anticipated films of the year because of how much I enjoyed the first film, and due to the fact that Knives Out was one of the last theatrical releases before the pandemic. Plus, the cast is so talented, anyone would want to watch. In my books, this movie gets a 4 out of 5 stars. The beautiful cinematography, witty dialogue, and Clue-like aspects keep watchers on the edge of their seats and laughing for the entire duration of the film. With the release of it on Netflix after a stellar week-long theatrical release, this movie is sure to be worthy of a rewatch. However, I did dock at a point for the predictability and modern, quote, new money aspects of the stuck-up and rich cast due to the irreplaceable aesthetic and mystery of the first film. I would recommend this film to anyone looking for a hilarious night in with friends or family. I recommend it for the satirical aspects and the mockery of the rich, as well as the riveting storyline. Thank you guys for watching West Reviews, and see you next time.
And now to this week's episode of The Main Minute, with your school's announcements in a minute or less.
Welcome to this week's episode of The Main Minute. The CCRC is looking for a student intern for the spring semester. Applicants should have experience using Canva, Instagram, and TikTok. Apply through school links or by visiting the CCRC office. Join Anime Club. They meet every Thursday after school in C205. Asian Club meets today after school in C201. Poetry Club meets in C205 Tuesdays after school. Musical Costume Crew meets today at 3:30. Computer Science Club meets this Friday in B211. Speech Team is competing in the Glenbrook North Tournament of Heroes this Saturday. This week's assembly will be on Friday and the theme is Glow in the Dark. That's all for The Main Minute.
Warrior Weekly loves to highlight musicians in our community. To close our show, here is Haven Walgren Lemmerman.
Okay. Hello, my name is Haven. I'm a junior and I will be playing This Town by Niall Horan.
Thanks for watching Warrior Weekly.
And have a great week.
Waking up to kiss you when nobody's there. The smell of your perfume still stuck in the air. It's hard. Yesterday I thought I saw your shadow running round. It's funny how things never change in this old town. So far from the stars. I wanna tell you everything, the words I never got to say the first time around. And I remember everything from when we were the children playing in this fair.